Hi, welcome to COSC 1436 online. My name is Jeanette Serrano-Correa. I am office at the Plano campus. This is a fully online course. My office is it's in the K building, room 226, if you want to find me there. I've provided my office hours here. You're welcome to come in on campus, or we can do office Zoom hours. Please take advantage if you have questions about the course itself. Um, please don't hesitate to click here, book a time with me, and book a Zoom office hour. And if for some reason these hours did not work with you, I can see if I can find a different time that we can meet. So this course, COSC 1436, is Programming Fundamentals 1. Does not require that you know any programming, but if you do, it's very helpful. We code in C++ for this course. The course requires that you have a book that you can purchase through the COSC1436 bookstore. I have a link here that takes you straight to the book. The book is starting out with C++. So this book is a Pearson Plus book, and what that means is that as you're reading the book, you actually have embedded videos in the book and you have live code. So you can look at the code, you can click a button, and it runs the code for you. At the end of each section, there's also multiple choice questions that you click on and you can get immediate feedback. Like, did you understand what you just read? It tells you if it's correct or not. So everything that you do through the book, there's nothing that you get points on, but there is a quiz that goes with the reading, and the quiz is on Canvas. Those quizzes are for points. Those quizzes are open book, open notes. So the way that I would go about doing those quizzes is read the chapter, take notes as you read the chapter. If you have any questions on what you read, if you don't understand it from the book, you can type those questions online, like using a web browser and trying to figure out what you don't understand about it. Maybe it's the terminology or the way that the book explains it. You can also watch the lectures. I have lectures for all the sections that we cover in the book, and hopefully that will answer your questions also. I also have a discussion board on Canvas where you can type questions. As you watch a lecture, have that discussion open and type questions that I can answer that can be helpful for you and all students in the course. This. So under modules, I'll go to week 1 in a second, but let's say that you're working on chapter 1 and you're doing your chapter 1 reading. So as you read chapter 1, you would take notes and you can post questions right here. Here's your chapter 1 reading quiz. And my lecture videos, I use these PowerPoint presentations. So you can, as you're going through the video, you can take notes using the PowerPoint, or you can just take notes. You don't have to use the PowerPoint, just take notes on whatever, on a tablet or paper. So each chapter will be like this. You'll have reading. You can do the reading before you watch my lecture, or you can do the reading after you watch my lecture. Either way. Now, under the course syllabus, where it says course calendar, Um, so right here on the left-hand side under course calendar, you'll see that, if I can make this bigger, I can. You'll see where it has like read section, so and so, watch lecture video. So it tells you like this chapter only has one lecture video, but there's other chapters that have multiple videos. For example, chapter 4, and it tells you like sections 4:1 to 4:6 go with the part 1 video, and then 4:7 to 4:15 go with the part 2 lecture video. So this tells you what readings go with what lecture video. I'll also send weekly announcements that get delivered to your email that will remind you of this. I'm basically copying from here and telling you what to read every week. So it's going to be basically a repeat of what you see here. This is very useful just because it has that part. So it has this part where it tells you what to read and what video to watch. Okay, so this is really important, the course calendar. And then if we go back to, let's see, course information. We went over that. Okay, let's look at some of the course resources. We have a lab on campus. If you open this, it lists 2 labs, but currently only lab J110 is available. If you need a computer lab, maybe your computer broke or I don't know, whatever, you don't have access to your computer, you can use this computer lab. Really, for this course, you can use a laptop, any laptop, doesn't matter if it's a Mac or OS system. You can even compile and run programs using a tablet. You just need a web browser. So it's really not hard to find something to be able to run your labs. We have a tutor specifically for computer science courses. His name is Temi. Here's how you get to the tutor. Use him, use the discussion to post questions, use my office hours to get help. Don't wait to get help when you're just, you know, overwhelmed and it's the end of the course and you're not passing, okay? So we talked about the book. Again, this is the link that I clicked on that takes you straight to the COSC1436 bookstore to purchase the book. It's an ebook plus, and you'll get a code to be able to access it. Since this is an online course, you are going to need a computer that has a webcam. So you cannot use a tablet to take your exams. So the webcam is used for exams. We use HonorLock for all exams. It's very important that you follow all the instructions for the HonorLock exams because your exam can be thrown out if you don't follow all the instructions that I've asked for those exams. So that this is fair to all students, I have very strict policies for those HonorLock exams. I watch all the videos and I make sure that everybody gets an equal opportunity in these exams. So this exam should be, you should think of, when you go take an HonorLock exam, think this is how I would behave in an in-classroom exam, okay? So what that means is, in my exams, you cannot have any notes, you can't have your book open, and so you have to be looking at your exam at all times. If you start to look up a lot or sideways, I submit that exam to the Dean of Students immediately for review to see if it's academic dishonesty. So very strict on exams. This is where I can see if you've done and practice what I've asked for if you actually know how to code. Okay, so your exams will be a mixture of coding, actual writing programs, small sections of programs, and multiple choice, true, false. The coding part of your exams will be about 30% of the exam. So 30% of the exam will be coding. The other 70% will be multiple choice, true, false. As far as late work goes, there's certain things that you can turn in late. There's two things you can turn in late. Discussions can be turned in late and lab assignments can be turned in late. You only have 7 days to submit something late. After those 7 days, you may not submit that assignment or discussion. There's a 10% flat deduction if you submit after the due date and time. Even if it's 1 minute late, it's still 10% deduction, okay? So the line has to be drawn somewhere, right? We've got to draw the line. And this is where the line is drawn. We could say nothing is submitted late, and 1 minute late, I won't take it. But I do take things that are submitted late, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 1 day, 2 days. So if for some reason you're not understanding something, and here we are, it's 11:50 and you've got to turn in your assignment, do not turn it in late. Do not turn it in on time if it's not working, number one, because if it's not compiling, you won't get any points. This is also the time when students, they're like, oh my gosh, it's due in, 1 hour and I'm not, my lab's not working. So they go and they use artificial intelligence to try to get it to do the work for them or to debug the work. Don't do that. Using AI is prohibited in this course and all our courses at the Plano campus when it's an assignment that is for a grade. So if it's a graded assignment, you may not use AI. If I see that you did use AI or got an answer from the internet or somewhere that's not your book or the lecture, I submit that to the dean of students. And the dean of students decides if it's academic dishonesty or not. If it is academic dishonesty, then you receive a 0 on your first assignment and your grade drops by 1 letter grade. So there's 10 points deducted on your final grade. After the first offense, it's a failure for the course, so you fail the class. This happens every semester. Students don't think that I can detect something that hasn't been done by a student. And I've taught programming for so many years. This is, I think, the start of my 29th year. So it's not hard for me to tell if it's a student produced work or something beautiful and perfect that was found on the internet or it was AI generated. All you can use on assignments that you submit for a grade is your book and the lectures, and that's it. There's nothing else. Also, if you're working on a lab assignment, you cannot use anything that is not in that chapter that goes for that lab assignment or previous chapters. So I'm sorry, I don't know if I said that right. You can't use anything that is not in the chapter that we're covering. So what happens is some students, like we'll be working on a lab assignment for chapter 3. And students will submit a solution that has coding topics that are in chapter 6 or chapter 8. So we've only covered chapters 1 through 3. You should only have what we've covered in chapters 1 through 3 in that lab assignment. That's it, nothing else. Even if you are an experienced programmer, you cannot have anything except what we've covered in chapters 1 through 3. That's it. So A lot there about labs. Missed quizzes and exam policy. There are no makeup quizzes. Quizzes close on the due date and time. Don't email me, please. Exams, you can miss an exam if there's an emergency. Just email me before you take the exam, not after. Okay. So in the event, I'll know once you email me, I'll determine if it's a valid excuse for that missed exam. This is an online class, so there's no attendance policy. You just have to make sure that you log in daily and that you're submitting your work on time. Submit your work, submit it on time. That goes a long way for these courses, okay? I'm gonna help you by sending you weekly emails. So there'll be an announcement that gets sent to your student account, COSC1436 student account email. And in those weekly emails, I'll let you know this is what you need to do for this week. And so hopefully it will feel like almost like an online class where you have different lectures to watch for that week and different assignments. So I hope that that helps you to be successful. There's I definitely encourage class participation, and the way that you do that is through that discussion board where you post questions. So I say that here as an online student, you can be prepared to type up questions as you watch a lecture and post your questions on the lecture questions discussion board. Again, this is helpful for all students. Prepare yourself before watching a lecture by reading and studying the assigned sections. Some students like to read before they watch my lecture. Some students like to watch the lecture and then read. That's up to you. But you do get a lot more out of the lecture if you read beforehand. But again, you know how you best learn. There we go. Again, see the course calendar for reading sections assigned for each lecture video. As far as extra credit, I don't have any extra credit assignments or anything like that. I do have extra credit built into the exams. That's the way that you can get extra credit. And because they're built into the exams, it's a higher percentage of extra credit that you're getting. So email communication, I reply within 24 hours of getting your email. My hours to work and to read my emails are Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 p.m. When you email me, make sure that you have your course number, course section, your name, and ID number. This semester, I have just 2 sections of C++. So, but I teach 6 courses. So I need to know what class you're in. Are you in online C++, on campus? I teach also Java and computer organization. So I need to know what class you're in. This is the Scholastic Dishonesty Policy. Please read that. It's super important that you read this. And at the bottom here, it says, ignorance of the scholastic dishonesty policy will not be considered as an excuse for violation. No exceptions to this policy. So make sure you read this scholastic dishonesty policy. And I talked about it a little bit earlier. Here's the AI policy. Strictly prohibited on assignments, quizzes, and exams. If you're studying, use AI all you want. I love to use AI to learn more deeply about things. Maybe it explains it a different way than the way I read something. I use the internet to browse for other resources to help me study. But for assignments, it's all you, okay? Use your book, your lecture notes, your reading notes, but nothing else. It's got to be coded by you, the way you think. One lab assignment can have hundreds of different solutions. Okay. People code all different ways. I need to see the way that you code. Okay. I don't want to see the way that the internet, AI, or some other resource codes. Collaboration policy. You can collaborate with other students and resources like AI and the internet, etc., but not on assignments, quizzes, or exams. So that means that it has to be your work, your original work. And if you're working on a lab assignment, you cannot work on the lab assignment with somebody. You just need to work on it by yourself. Okay. If you have issues with your lab assignments, something's not compiling or working, you come talk to me. You ask me. Okay. So this will help you from making the mistake of using something that will then be considered academic dishonesty. I'm sorry to say, but these days it's so easy to get answers to these assignments. It's so easy to not do your work that this is what we have to do. So, but you just have to pretend that the internet doesn't exist when you do a lab assignment, okay? Just pretend it doesn't exist and you're just looking at your book, your what you know, and then you code. This is how you learn. Method of evaluation, this is how your grades are calculated. Not calculated, but this is the percentages. So 89.5 to 100% is an A. So anything like 89.4, that's a B. Again, the line has to be drawn somewhere, right? It could be 90 to 100. A professor may say 90 to 100 is an A. Or they may say 89.9 to 100 is an A. We have to draw the line. So that's what this says right here. The line is drawn here. Please don't email me if you're under a point or 0.1 of a percent. Here's how things are broken out. You have reading quizzes that are 10% of your grade. Lab assignments, exercises, and discussions are 20% of your grade. You have 3 exams, and they're all weighed at 20%. Please read this section that talks about what are the lab assignments, exercises, discussions, and exams, and how I grade. You can read that. Here's the course calendar. We have spring break, March 17th through the 23rd. The last day to withdraw for this class is April 4th. So on April 4th, I'm not able to withdraw students. You have to withdraw. If you're thinking about withdrawing, send me an email. I'll let you know, yes, you need to withdraw, or, your grade looks good. Or, you could pull off a B or a C. So just if you want to contact me, you can before you withdraw. You don't have to. And then these are the dates for final exam. So your final exam will be open May 12th through May 16th. So plan accordingly. If you're gonna book a trip or something, this is the time you need to be available to take your exam. Again, this is important under course calendar to look at what readings go with what lecture videos. Looking back under modules, every chapter is modeled the same way. So again, you have a lecture, you have a reading that you do, you have a lab assignment, a reading quiz. In some chapters, you'll have a discussion, or you could have an exercise to do. So here's week 2. Week 2, you have a discussion, reading quiz, lab assignment. Week 3 and 4, you have an exercise, discussion, reading quiz, lab assignment. Now, anything that says exercise is teacher-led. I give you the answers for all the exercises. They're really small. They're only like 5 points, but exercises close on the due date. So you're either like this, let me see. I have, yeah. So in this exercise right here, it's a teacher-led exercise. You watch this video and you just submit what I do in the video. Okay. So you're not having to come up with an original solution. The only thing you come up with original solutions are lab assignments. Starting with lab 2, you start coming up with original solutions. On all your discussions, it has a due date, right? Like February 5th. But in all the discussions, you have a part 1 and a part 2. So make sure that you maybe, since it says February the 5th for a discussion, maybe start February the 4th, post February the 4th. And that gives students an opportunity to have something to reply to. So discussions are also coding. You're going to be coding in the discussions. So it's not a discussion where you're typing essay. There's nothing essay here, nothing that you're writing. It's just all coding. So even a discussion has a coding. So let me just show you what discussion 2 looks like. This is a part 1, and part 2, you're coding something that somebody else does. So here's where you get to interact with other students in the class. One way is through the discussions, and again by posting questions on the discussion questions. So there's a discussion where you introduce yourself. There's a discussion where you post questions. And then there's these discussions that go with it, each chapter. There is one tiny little extra credit opportunity that I have that I give students that goes towards assignments. And that's to encourage students to attend any workshops that we have on campus, or go to some of our software engineering club meetings. I help with the software engineering club with Dr. Daly, and I'll be posting information about that throughout the semester when we have things going on. We're planning a hackathon on a weekend, and we're planning on visiting a company, so touring a company also this semester. So it's to encourage students to attend some of these and start to meet other students in the computer science area, engineering, and to make connections. I'm going to change the view to a student view. That was my teacher view. So this is how you would see your course. So you have purchase course materials, you have the syllabus, the modules. This is where you would do, find all your assignments and everything, discussions, your grade book, honor log, and student resources. Under course introduction, where you found this video, right here's where the video is. After you watch the video, you read the syllabus, take your syllabus quiz, and introduce yourself. As far as software is concerned, we're going to be using an online compiler. You can use online GDB, or you can use also use, I think it's called PowerShell. This video here with chapter 1 will go on, we'll show you how to use online GDB, but really any compiler that you want to use is fine for C++. A lot of students like to use VS Code or some online compiler. I started my lectures with a different compiler, and then I changed to online GDB. The only reason I changed to online GDB is because with online GDB, you can save everything online, which is nice. And you can with the other compiler that I use for my lectures. So I would use something where you can save your files if you're using an online compiler. Okay, I think that's all I have. I can't think of anything else. These, since you're an online student, definitely look at last thing is just look at the student resources. We have so many resources on campus that can also be, that you can access online. So here's what those resources look like. Something that I would definitely encourage you to use, maybe not for my class, but for other classes, if you're taking English or government, you have to write. It's our writing center. We have a math tutoring center. You already know that we have a tutoring online for the COSC courses. If you have any kind of technical issues, maybe you bought a new iPhone and you can't get your one login, or you just can't get your one login, or you can't log in to Canvas. Search, you go to on the web and just search COSC1436 technical support, and you can find this technical support information. I would also put the technical support number in your phone. So technical support is student technical support. Somebody always answers this, okay? So I would put that number into your phone, because if you can't log into I have it in the syllabus, but if you can't log in to Canvas, then you want to be able to call this number. Okay. Also, some other things that we have at the Career Center, they help you with your resume, help you if you need to find a job, disability services access. If you have a learning disability and you haven't submitted something to Access, please submit your documentation so you can get your accommodations. Academic advising, you can do academic advising online. You don't have to come to campus. We have counseling services. Student engagement, this is where you find what's going on campus. One way to find what's going on campus. You can also go to Workday. Workday has something that will allow you to find, it has a calendar that has all the activities of what's going on campus. Timely care, fitness center, financial aid, student handbook, all kinds of stuff on here. So take a look at all the resources that come to you free when you take a class. You paid for tuition, it pays for all these resources. All right, so don't hesitate to contact me during the semester. I'm here to help you. If you get stuck on a lab or you're not understanding something, you can send me an email or we can meet in Zoom. Okay, thank you. Have a great semester, and good luck.